Yeah, so today's guest is actually Tiffany Kellogg, and I was looking at her resume, bio, whatever. It was very, very impressive. She offers the services which I feel every business person needs it. Referral. Who doesn't need referral? Everybody is looking for clients. Everybody is looking for leads, but referrals are warm leads. They can convert really better and faster. Without me going into details, hey, let's actually hear it from the pro. So here is Tiffany. So Tiffany, I interviewed so many people and they offer various kinds of services. But you are the first one who is offering referral services. So I'm really curious to know, and I'm personally interested. So please tell me how you got started into this business, and yeah, how did you get this idea? I want to know your story.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Being an entrepreneur was not part of my plan. I actually went to school and my intention was to do genetic research and genetic engineering, biology major to get things started. But I kind of figured out it's going to take many years, lots going on, tons of student loans, and there's a lot of political stuff going in the science world, especially coming to genetics. And I decided, you know what, no science for me. I'm going to be a business major. And I got my business degree and I got out there in the real world and was loving it. But then in March of 2003, two things happened that impacted me and getting me here today. The first, the job that I had, the board of directors got together, did some restructuring, and guess what was no longer part of the organization? Me.
And you must be highly paid employee. So yeah, of course they have to get rid of you.
So it was either a demotion or a severance package. And the other thing that happened that month, my mom, who had been battling breast cancer for the previous 17 months, was given a terminal diagnosis and maybe a couple days left to live. And so I took the severance package and I got to spend every single day with my mom, and she hung on for almost 3.5 months. And we had a huge birthday celebration for her 47th birthday and big party. Everybody came out. The next morning, we got up, we had breakfast. She went to take a nap and she never woke up.
47, that's too young.
Oh, it's so young. Yeah. I lost my mom at 47, and then my sister-in-law was in her early 40s when she passed away. And it just makes you realize like how precious life is. And I want to be an entrepreneur because I had a friend of the family and like she had the freedom to come over and hang out, whereas, everybody else is working 9 to 5. So I moved to Florida to start a business. And I found that just because I had a business didn't mean I had any business. I want to get paid. And I spent a couple of years cold calling. I'm good at it and I hate doing it.
Oh my goodness, because that actually needs a lot of guts. It's not easy at all.
That was the only thing I knew how to do. And then this guy calls me and say, hey, do you want to come to this networking meeting? And it was like, I walked into this meeting and it's like the clouds had parted, the sun was shining. Oh, like there's a room full of people to refer me. And so like I started doing this referral and networking, but I quickly got busy to the point where I'm working all day, every day, 7 days a week. I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. And then I kind of started, figuring out this referral thing and just really made a huge shift. I was able to go from working 7 days a week to 4 days a week, got my husband to come and work in the business with me. And then I started training and sharing referral marketing tips. So I had both companies from 2006 to 2008. And in 2008, my husband and I were having a beer and chatting. And he's like, which one do you prefer? I'm like, I like the speaking, the training, and working with entrepreneurs to help them have the life they desire. And so 2008, I went full time doing this, and I've been able to help thousands of people across the globe because we don't know how much time we have left. And
oh, you're absolutely right. From your talk, I got actually 2-3 points which I want to elaborate more. For example, you talked about your background in genetics. I have a similar background. I was into pharmacy, and I was actually doing even PhD in pharmacology, and I was actually in R&D department of a really, really big pharma company. And I remember when I was into pharmacy college, I asked my professor that, first couple of paragraphs of the use And after that, pages and pages of counter reactions. Say, why do we have even these drugs? So my professor said, these drugs are only for emergency and they are never to be taken long term. That is what my professor told. And then I was into this big pharma R&D department. Their approach was how to capture actually so-called patient as their client and put that patient on their drugs lifelong.
Yeah.
And I said, this is a totally different scenario. This is not what I want. And I changed my field. I couldn't believe it. We have exactly similar background. I really am so related to you. And second thing, I really want to know more about your referral marketing because I was part of BNI. In my past life, I was into network marketing, and I was the highest referral giver in BNI. And somehow, when I started this digital products business, I haven't brought that skill over here, or maybe I don't have the platform to use my skill, because if I have been the highest referral giver, actually on the global level, I was the highest referral giver. And so I think I can take your mentorship and I can use it for my new business. So I'm really totally eager to know more about you. So yeah, tell me. So 2008, you decided to get into this. After that, what happened?
Yeah, so just over the past decade and a half, I have enjoyed being able to work with people to help them figure out exactly where referrals can come from for them. Sometimes people will talk about, let me go networking and meet a whole bunch of new people. I'm much more about who are the 4, 6, or 8 people that can refer me all day, every day. It's just a handful of people that I need that can refer me to help me grow my business. And so to me, I like to think about who are those non-competing industries with the same target market that could refer me, developing those relationships versus let me go out and meet the masses.
Absolutely.
And so I think it's really important for us to determine, and we like to call them contact sphere relationships. I'm sure you're used to that phrase. Some people call it circle of influence or sphere of influence. Non-competing industries with the exact same target market. And just figuring out, again, 4, 6, or 8 are those people that can refer you all day, every day.
Yeah, I'm really eager to know because I have digital products, various digital products, and I was just planning to create some special program for the people who already bought my products and how they can buy different products because I have huge range, or how they can refer to their friends and families, and what kind of incentives I can give them. So if you want to design a program for me, what will you do?
So the first thing I would be thinking about is who's my ideal client. So how would you describe your ideal client?
My ideal client, see, I love creation. So what happened when I was creating digital products, I created a lot. And then when I came for the sales and marketing, I realized that my niche is really broad and my messaging is getting really jumbled up. So what I separated my products. So I have one website which has the low ticket products from $2 to $50. And for that, I'm my ideal customer profile. I look at it as a branding hub for solopreneurs. But anyone who is looking for organization or saving time and money, they can use these products like social media templates, digital planners, ebooks, and various things. But those are low ticket. And then I have other website where I have eCourses, and those are designed only for solopreneurs to scale their businesses. So right now I'm focusing more on the site where I have little mid-ticket products like $300 to $500, and those are designed mainly for solopreneurs because they really don't have much budget to go for various things. So I just want them to scale their business at a low shoestring budget, because many solopreneurs don't see second year in business, and those who see second year, many of them don't see fifth year in the business. So I want actually Yeah, I mean, someone like you who can provide them referral ongoing on pipeline. And so tell me, how can you help them and me?
So kind of taking a look at, there was a lot there to unpack as far as, who's the ideal client. And I think that's really our first step that we want to do when it comes to growing referrals for our business. Whether it's you or whether it's the solopreneurs, is who exactly is that ideal client? And one of the things that I think is crucial is, where do they hang out together? So tell me, your ideal client are solopreneurs. Where are they hanging out together?
See, Facebook is good, Instagram is good, TikTok is good, everything is good. But I figured out the LinkedIn, the quality of leads which I get, they're very, very high quality.
So
And
those are social media platforms, but that's not necessarily we're hanging out together. So I'm thinking, where are we getting together? And this could be in person or it could be online, but it can't just be the whole platform. We've got to have a smaller group that's mainly just the solopreneurs.
So you are thinking about like summits or any particular smaller group. I have a joint venture group where I try to help out solopreneurs, and even they can help out each other. And the same idea, basically, mean you are not in competition, you are in collaboration. You share the same audience, but you offer different services.
Yeah.
So this is a joint venture group that I'm going live right now. So consider that as a platform right now. So
okay. So when I'm talking to the solopreneurs, typically it's like, who are your clients and where are they hanging out? Because if we want our clients to be referring to us and talking about us, they need to have somewhere that they're talking in common. And so, if you're targeting young moms, then it could be the moms group. If you're targeting, the senior citizens that play golf every day, then I might think about the golf club. And so we want to think about where they're hanging out, because just finding a client. All right, y'all. So I apologize. I don't fish, but I hope this analogy is still simple enough. My understanding of fishing is, when you catch a fish, it's not let me pull up and go somewhere else and try and catch another fish. It's where there's one fish, there's probably more fish. And so I want to immediately drop back. And so I think what a lot of entrepreneurs, especially solopreneurs, are doing, and I'm mixing my metaphors here, sorry, y'all. They're more like, let me hunt, let me go see where I can get one here, one there, versus I'm going to go fish and I get one and then I get the next and then I get the next. And so we've got to figure out, where do those ideal clients hang out, so we can go be there too.
Okay. And what is the next step?
So the next thing we do is, once we figure out who's our ideal clients, then we figure out who is selling to our ideal clients. So if it's the mommy, the solopreneur that's going after the mommies, I might think about the daycare or the diaper delivery or things of that nature. If I'm going after the senior citizens that golf, I might look at the apparel area. They're senior citizens, so there's some doctors that probably specialize in dealing with older people with issues that come from golf. Like, I'm thinking of my dad, who's had, his shoulder done and his back done, plays golf every day. And so I want to figure out who else is selling to those people, because those are going to be our 4, 6, or 8 folks that can refer us all day, every day, because we're in non-competing industries with the same target market. Now, in the speaker world, in the digital content world, we do often have people that do the joint ventures, that we have to make sure that there are people that their audience and my audience are the same. I'm entrepreneurs, business owners, commissioned agents. Somebody one time was like, Tiffany, I know you like to speak. I'm like, yes. They're like, I have an engagement for me. Yes. It was a travel club of retirees. I'm like, thank you. No. I'm like, I don't have anything to talk. They're like, you can talk about. I'm like, no, I only talk about referrals, networking, saving time. That's it. It's in that realm.
I liked your tagline. Actually, we met at the speaker playhouse, and you talked about actually having fun and making time. And I said, hey, whatever she's providing, everyone needs it, and my audience surely wants it.
Yes,
So yeah, I want to know more about what offers, what services you have, because I'm personally interested, but I'm pretty sure my audience is interested in that also. So and then when you're talking about actually various platforms, the podcast, I got started on the same page. Means basically, I want to provide services what I'm not providing to my audience, because I want to give value to my audience, but I don't know much about what you are providing. So you are here. So I'm pretty sure I'll make sure that you will gain more visibility, because my VA will make the blog and she will put it on YouTube. She will also put it on various podcasting channel. We'll publish everywhere in social media. We'll make even on our website and all. We'll send it to our email list and all. That will make for sure. So you will get more visibility, but even our audience will get a lot of value, because the services what you are providing, I haven't come across with anyone really focused in that particular niche. So I want to know what offers you have, and how can you help me and my audience.
Yeah. So an easy freebie that we have, I have an ebook. It's called Why Ain't You Getting Referrals? I embrace the Southern. So there's a little ain't in there. And it's a short 10, 15 pager. And it's at bit.ly/why ain't. And so that's a little free ebook. And then I have a program called Ignite Your Business. And currently we're in a series. I just finished with module 3 today. We have 7 more modules, Fridays from 10 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. And typically you can do the whole series. If you want to come just test one out, usually it's $129. But if you say, hey, Tiffany, I was here, I heard you at Sue, I'll let you know the dates and you can come out as my guest. And if y'all are watching this 2024 and beyond, reach out and I'll let you know when the next program is.
Great. I'm interested. I will surely join. You talked about ebook, but I saw you have written 3 best-selling books. So tell me about that, because most of the people, they always want to write a book, and it's someday. For me, I love to blog. I love to write articles. I have so many things going on, but I have never come across writing a book, compiling all those things and even making a book. Yeah, but still, even I haven't done it. So tell me how you wrote 3 books.
So I'll come back to that in a second. I do want to let you know, one of my referral partners, he actually hired a writer that went through his blog and his YouTube videos and created a book out of the content he had already created, and he didn't have to do any of it. So that could be an option. If you have a lot of stuff out there, that could be an option for you. So for me,
I like his referral.
To me, and I'm actually speaking at a ghostwriters conference October 5th. So I'm going to meet a ton of ghostwriters. I like to write. I actually wrote my first book when I was in 8th grade. It was a fiction.
Wow.
Book. I like to write. So it's always been good for me. My first book sat on the to-do list for almost 5 years, though. When I finally said, my thing is Monday through Friday, I'm going to write every day 1,000 words. And I wasn't allowed to do anything fun or watch TV or anything. It was like only after I write my 1,000 words a day. And I had the book written mainly within a month, because I wasn't editing it. I was writing it. Now, if you think a month was good for book number 2, when I finally decided I wanted to write it, because the other one sat on the to-do list for 5 years and I did not want to repeat, I said, okay, let me take a look at my life. And the biggest things that I do to relax, watch TV, read fiction, spend time with my husband, not necessarily in that order. And like hang out, relax, have an adult beverage kind of thing. And I said, if I really want to write this, I don't want it to stay on my to-do list. So here's the deal. I'm writing, I'm working, I'm doing that normal stuff that I have to, but no reading, no watching TV, no just chillaxing with my husband. 10 days later, I had 27,000 words. I shut the laptop and I'm like, honey, turn on the TV and get me a beer. So I wrote the rough draft. I mean, that doesn't include the editing and all that in 10 days by just saying I'm not doing anything other than working. Like I worked, I went to the gym, I did that kind of stuff, but none of the relaxing things. I don't recommend that for a very long-term thing, but I got the book written in 10 days.
But you know what your story tells me? I think everybody, I won't say everybody, but most people should learn from you, because most people are busy and they are not prioritizing their tasks.
Yeah.
So you prioritized your task, you disciplined, and that's a big lesson, because as a solopreneur, you have a lot of things to do. But if you don't because you wear many hats, if you don't prioritize and if you don't discipline yourself, yeah, you will keep on spinning your wheels, but the tasks which are like $2 per hour, you will end up doing those tasks instead of the tasks which are really high quality tasks. Those will be procrastinated. So that's a really big.
For solopreneurs, I understand solopreneurs are like, I'm doing it all myself. I don't want employees. Fine. I get it. However, there's all kinds of outsourcing and Upwork and Fiverr and VAs and so many different things that we can do to, I have one client that I'm like, you spend a full day every month doing payroll and bookkeeping. You could pay somebody and use that for other things. I'm like, I'm not saying you have to hire somebody full time, but just because you're a solopreneur doesn't mean you have to do it all yourself. Now you have to do the relationship building yourself. There's no way around that one.
Yes. Yeah, you should do only the things only which you can do or you should do. Yes. And whatever you can delegate, you can delegate. And my husband is really big on that. He said, if there is a pro available, I will hire a pro, because I don't have time to go and learn that particular thing by myself. And by the time I learn, the thing may not be even needed. So there is wherever you can hire a pro, why not? So, so from now on, means what action we can take and how can we use your services, because it's very clear everybody needs it. So yeah, just tell us, how can we use your services? How can we contact you, and where can we find more information?
So I am pretty active on Facebook, LinkedIn, kind of Instagram, and I'm lucky. I think we're all lucky being born in this era, because we're all going to be able to get at least close to our names on social media. Maybe not exact. I always laughed growing up. It was like annoying because I could never find stuff with my name spelled right. I'm really glad my name is spelled the way it is now, because I can grab it on social. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you can find me, Tiffany Kellog. If you want to go to my website, it's TiffanyKellogg.com. My YouTube channel, which has hundreds of videos talking about all kinds of things, Tiffany Kellogg. And my email is Tiffany@TiffanyKellogg.com. So I am pretty easy to get at Tiffany Kellogg, TiffanyKellogg.com. Just make sure it's with an I.
Yeah, surely. And we'll put everything in the show notes for sure. So I just want to say, nowadays a lot of information is available for free. But I found out that most people want transformation, not information. So tell me some of your testimonials or case studies of transformation, so that our audience will know that, okay, you are bringing transformation in people's lives.
Yeah. So Jason Avery, who has been a client for a decade now, when I first met him, general contractor, it was him and a couple guys in his crew and a part-time bookkeeper. He now has 40 plus people in that multi-million-dollar construction company. He started a consulting business for other contractors and a wholesale cabinet shop. And this year he's launching 2 more businesses. So by the end of the year, he's going to have 5 businesses, multi-million-dollar success. And we went from a couple guys and a part-time bookkeeper to there now. So that's one of ours. Eric is another client of mine. I love sharing his story, photographer. And he was doing all kinds of photography when we started working together. We started at the beginning of 2019. At the end of the year, he came to me and said, "Hey, Tiffany, just so you know, my business is up by 8%. And I'm like, I feel like that's a really low number. What did we do wrong? And he's like, wait, but I did cut my work week back by 25%. So he actually is working a quarter less and he's still making more money.
Oh, wow.
Now, last year he had baby boy number 4 and they've got their recreational vehicle. Like they have 4 boys under the age of 11 that they put into a recreational vehicle. And I'm just like, more power to you. That sounds like not my kind of thing.
No, but at least he's getting his life back, because many people go into grave with regrets, and by the time, means basically they realize it's too late. But here they're achieving the success in their youth and they're getting their life back. So what more transformation? Yeah, anyone wants. That's what everyone wants, right?
We want, our goal is we have more money, more time, more fun, so we can live the life that we desire. Because we don't know, there were plenty of things that I wanted to do with my mom, and I will never get to do that because, there was no more time. And so I think that some people think I can do that in 5 years. I can do that in 10 years. I can do that in 20 years. But A, we don't know if those people are going to be there. B, we don't know if the world's going to change. I mean, I don't think anybody thought some people knew March of 2020 was coming for a pandemic, but I don't think the average person knew. I did find out that there's pandemic insurance. Like I was reading, and I think it was maybe Wimbledon in the UK, like they had pandemic insurance, which paid out a ton. And then they were able to take care of people. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Now more people will probably have pandemic insurance, but we don't know what's going to happen. And so my goal is not how do I work hard all the time. I'm very much work hard, play hard, because I think that combination of both is important because we want the life. And Jason, of all of my entrepreneurs that are clients, probably does this better than anyone because he's not working in the business day to day, mostly because he's got other people doing that. However, he loves to do business meetings on the golf course or on the boat. Or he was talking, my husband and him are playing a golf tournament and they're bringing some people to introduce to each other for referral generation, but they're doing it on the golf course. And so to me, sometimes it's about how do I find what I like to do for fun and bring that into the work. So I get to do both at the same time.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And see, you might be having your own proprietary methods and all. So I don't want to go into details and all, but of course I will come to know once I start working with you. But if I missed any point, and feel free to cover, because I was just impressed with your whole biodata. So if I missed any point, feel free to cover.
There's so much stuff that we could talk on for referrals. Like our base program is called Ignite Your Business. It's 10 modules, 2.5-hour modules. So, I mean, there's so much when it comes to referrals. My best advice is just create with some intention. I have a scorecard that I use to measure how well I'm doing motivating my network, because the more I can motivate my network, the more likely they are to refer me. And so instead of me just sitting back and waiting, I always think it's important for us to think about how am I motivating my network? And while there's 100 different options on the page, a couple easy ones, pass your network referrals, introduce them to some of those contact sphere relationships, perhaps book speaking engagements on their behalf, get them on a show, get them on a stage. And testimonials to me is always a great one. If you can give someone else a testimonial, that's social proof they can use to grow their business and a great way to motivate your network.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I'm really glad to know all these things, and so looking forward to working with you. And so you also have a podcast. Do you want to share about your podcast? Because I came to know about your books, but if you want to share about your podcast, please feel free.
Yeah. So we go live. Right now, we're not sharing the audio only version, but we go live every week at 3:10 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. I think Sue will be joining us in October or November doing that. And it's just different topics where we share, and it's live streamed on Facebook and LinkedIn, as well as my YouTube channel. And then it lives there on YouTube. And so 3:10 p.m. Eastern every Thursday afternoon.
Great. And I wanted to ask you, do you have a one-on-one program or group coaching, or what kind of modules you have? Because you said modules, so is it one-on-one or group?
So our Ignite Your Business program is our 10 module program. And that typically is done with 8 or 10 participants in it. We do it virtually on Zoom because it's a very interactive program. So for today, we were working on vision. And so we all kind of mapped out what is our vision and rough draft version, but then everybody gets to share. We do breakout rooms and they get to share. So it's a very interactive, let's work on it right now, group kind of conversation. And so that's our Ignite Your Business program. It's $9.99 for the modules. And we do offer 1, a money back guarantee, and 2, something unique is what we call once a grad, always a grad. And so if you've taken the program before, we have ways that you can come back and take it again for free, no charge. And then we also have a membership, which is our More Abundant Entrepreneur membership. It's just rolling out, so it's an introductory price. And that we have Breakfast with Tiffany, which is an open Q&A session. We have the More Abundant Entrepreneur Show. We will be launching some networking in 2024, as well as several on-demand programs. My goal is just how do we help those entrepreneurs be more abundant?
So the membership also will have access to the these 10 modules you mentioned?
So they're separate.
Okay.
Because the membership right now is only $59 a month. It will go up to $99 a month, but the program itself is separate. Now we do have a membership that's at the $400 a month level that does include the 10 module program.
Okay. So I have a last question for you,
Yes.
Maria, before I summarize. Many times people don't ask because they are scared of no. So if I want to ask someone a referral, how can I get a referral without worrying about no? Or just I want to know more about that.
Yeah. So most people don't ask for referrals because they're afraid of the rejection of getting a no. And to me, if you ask for referrals and you get a no, then you're doing it wrong. Most people say, do you know anybody that needs my product or service? And the 2 things that's wrong with that is, do you know someone? Your brain is tired. We can handle between 1,500 and 2,500 pieces of stimuli on a daily basis. We're inundated with between 65 to 75,000 on a daily basis. So there's only so much our brain can process. So anytime it can say no, it's just doing the easy thing. So it's not even thinking. And if you say someone that needs my product or service, that's us having to figure out who needs your product or service. And so we want to flip it around and instead say, not do you know, who do you know who? Because the change in the language changes it from a yes, no question to a who do you know? So your brain has to think about it. And then we also want to change the who needs my product or service. You've got to tell us exactly who they're looking for. And it's not, hey, that needs this or that. No, who do you know who is a general contractor that would like to play more golf? Who do you know who is the membership director at the local chamber of commerce? Who do you know who? So you want to give us those specifics because it makes the brain so much easier to be able to say, oh, that's Mary, that's Joe, that's Tom. And so shift it from, do you know someone that needs my product or service, to who do you know who is a solopreneur that loves Star Trek?
So these questions seem to be 100% success rate. Yeah, because everybody knows something or other in that category, right? So yeah.
Sometimes people will be like, no, I don't know. But they'll at least think about it. Do I know? But they're at least thinking about it. Versus no, moving on.
So if you want to give a message, what message you will give? Just one or 2 sentences. What message you would like to give to my audience?
Let's rename referral marketing into relationship marketing and know it's about the individual relationships that you're developing that can give you those referrals all day, every day.
Thank you, Tiffany. I learned a lot and I'm pretty sure our audience is totally blessed and so looking forward to knowing more about of course, I'll grab the ebook and even my audience will grab the ebook. And yeah, thanks for being on our podcast and all the best.